Takpan yung mga nakulang, may mga kulang sa amin, and dapat rin kaming abangan kasi ilalaban namin kung ano yung mga natutunan namin and ano yung mga experience na nag-gain namin sa mga outleagues na nasalihan namin, and lastly, lalaban kami para sa UST. Alam po namin na hindi niyo po kami bibigayin para suportahan kami, and hindi din namin po kayo bibigayin para ilaban kung ano po yung dapat ilaban, lalong-lalo na sa UST. Go UST!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, the circus awaits you as Meteortrix proudly present this year's minor production, Hexen Ring. We're now here at Albertus Magnus Auditorium to witness the exciting show. Tag along with me as I join in all the magic and music in this traveling circus.
Hello everyone. So Meteortrix now is actually established September of 1996. So we are now, this year we are now celebrating our 21st anniversary since we are established as an organization here in University of Santo Tomas. So as you all know, Meteortrix is a university-wide multimedia organization of our school, of our university, and its mission is to really cater to the art enthusiasts and really to be an advocate of multimedia arts.
So Hexen Ring is the minor production of Meteortrix for its 21st anniversary. Basically, the story revolves around Joshua, a medical student who agrees with his girlfriend Arwen to go to the traveling circus. With the directors of Hexen Ring. Hello, Direct John and Direct Lian.
Hi.
So first off, what can you say about the turnout of the performances and the production as a whole?
Yun, after months of hard work, sobrang saya lang kasi yung reception ng audience sobrang warm. Sa Twitter, nagpo-post sila sa Facebook, and even after shows, may mga lumalapit na audience na nagko-congratulate sila na sobrang ganda daw nito. And ayun, parang nakakataba lang ng puso na na-appreciate nila yung pinaghirapan ng bawat isang tao dito sa production.
Well, that's good to hear. Direct John, what more can people expect from Meteortrix?
Well, maraming upcoming projects sa Meteortrix, and after this minor production, we're going to start working on our major production. And I think it's something that all the Tomasian community should look forward to.
And that caps off Meteortrix Hexen Ring. See you next time here at Tiger Trail, your all-access pass to exclusive events inside and outside UST.
The School of Engineering nurtured my natural curiosity and helped develop my analytical skills to approach problems with relative ease. I believe this proved to be instrumental in preparing me better for business and aided my aspirations to become an entrepreneur. I'm pleased to let you know that the Tomasian core values of competence, compassion, and commitment are very much alive in the Jollibee Group today. It feels good to be back here in UST.
Meron siyang something sa loob. Tignan mo na, diba? Ano yung pumuputok? Alam mo yung pumuputok, guys. Grabe.
Hi, good morning. I'm Day Dianco. I'm the External Affairs for Amoyami Crib, and we're here at Amoyami Crib's Pageant. So Amoyami Crib started in 2012. It is a concept cafe. It was a Kapampangan regional, and the thing that sets it apart is the experience that we assure you that you'll experience a fairy tale type of bliss.
Snow White's Drunk Dwarf drink. Yung Drunk Dwarf, siya yung gumagawa ng drink nila.
So, ginawa siya ng Drunk
So,
Dwarf.
instead na ma-mess up, naging mas creative siya and mas maganda and mas presentable. Like, tignan mo naman, very overloaded talaga.
Masarap.
Malalasahan mo talaga yung buko. Super refreshing niya, guys. Like, very good for the weather.
And besides mga cold drinks, meron din silang mga hot drinks. Tulad nito, ito yung hot version ng s'mores nila. So, ito na natin. Sobrang creamy niya.
For a very affordable price. Talagang...
Sobrang worth it niya.
Next up ay ang ating Javelani. Kunin ko muna yung isang cookie. Ay, grabe, ang sarap. And ready na akong i-train ko.
Ang sarap, super.
Hindi siya sobrang tamis na nakaka-umay, gano'n. Like, sobrang sakto nung tamis siya. Tapos, ang galing nung pagka-blend.
Up next, we have the Blue Unicorn, which is an upgraded version ng Scramble. At para mas makomplete namin ang ating fairy tale experience, ang cute mo!
Ikaw rin!
Parang may boba, pero mas masarap.
Wait, ang amazing, guys. Ang sayang experience, ang sarap ng drink, tapos may popping pearls pa sa loob. Sobrang must try. Ngayon, alam ko na kung bakit bestseller yung Blue Unicorn nila. Grabe, sobrang worth it siya. Crunchy sa labas, tapos medyo soft and...
Chewy.
Yeah, soft and chewy sa loob.
And yung nachos nila, meron din siyang salsa na dip. I can't believe na sobrang mura nito. And ang Big Bite Burger nila ay gawa sa 100% Australian Angus beef. Sarap siya. At yung sobrang juicy, sobrang loaded pa nung patty.
AYC chicken, which is their Amoyami Crib chicken.
At ang akin naman ay ang kanilang Finding Dory.
Saktong-sakto talaga yung balat, sobrang crunchy, sobrang tender, sobrang juicy.
Ang crunchy niya, pero yung fish sa loob, malambot.
It's Cinderella's Carbonara.
At ang akin naman ay burger steak na Big Bad Meat.
Wow!
Sobrang juicy nung patty. Sobrang perfect.
Grabe, guys. Ang sarap. Sobrang sakto nung pagkalito ng pasta. Tapos
Sobrang kitang-kita ngayong pagka-creamy niya.
Ayan, guys. Kaya naman, kung gusto nyong matikman lahat na nasubukan at natikman namin ngayong araw,
Pumunta na kayo sa 3rd floor DNB Building, Espanya Corner, Pino Valley.
So join us again next time as we explore more of the UST's hidden gems. Once again, I am Kim Buni.
I am Debbie Patalinghog, and this is your one-stop shop for all things yummy and delicious.
Dito lang sa
Saan Tayo Kakain?
Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome to Kwento Masino with me, Chris.
And also with me, Nico. And also, guys, we have here a very special guest.
Yes, that's right. Well, formerly, she is a Tomasian student. Then she became a Tomasian faculty member. And then after that, she entered the world of beauty pageants. And I guess all of us know her currently as the Miss Earth. Let us all welcome Miss Karen Ibasco. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
So, Miss Karen, let us start the conversation with what was your student life here in UST before?
I was an average student. I mean, I was a bit of a nerd actually because my course was physics.
Apo.
And we are one of the most few students, or rather few students in that course in the whole university. And what I did was I was really focused on my school. And then after my classes, I go to the library, I try to get some books and practice my calculus and then study. Then I'll wait for my dad to pick me up. And then I still go out with my friends, but I was really focused on my studies.
So parang naging favorite tambayan niyo na po yung library.
Oo, meron akong sariling upuan doon sa science section.
Sa SciTech. Ayan. Actually, maraming ang usually SciTech, bukod sa College of Science, marami dyan, napapansin ko, engineering, o kaya, ano pa ba yung iba? I think, pharmacy din. Yun.
Iba, med.
Opo. Actually, yung med naman, parang everywhere naman sila, marami.
Actually.
Tapos makita mo sila may makakapal na books, di ba?
So, alam mo na kagad na med students sila.
Yeah. Kasi, sometimes sabi nga na when they party, they still have their books with them because they really study so much and they really need it, to prepare them for medicine.
But Miss Karen, have you ever considered entering medicine school?
Before I did. I was considering if I was supposed to take my master's in medical physics or go to medicine. But then I chose my field, or rather my master's in medical physics, and I pursued it more than going to medicine.
And so, pagdating naman po sa pagkain, of course, most of us here in UST have our own favorite restaurants or places to go to during lunchtime or break times. Saan po yung mga yung favorite nyo po na pupuntahan palagi?
Hindi ko makalimutan yung sa Pinabal, kay Mang Toots.
Mang Toots, nandyan pa po. With the famous banana ramen.
Yeah, I go there. When I was a student, I go with my classmates. And then we eat less sa car park kasi it was expensive. So we try to go out like in Dapitan and Pinabal and try to find
Totoo po yun.
Actually, minsan mas masarap pa nga yung mga pagkain sa labas. Like, kasi minsan, di ba, parang feel ko kasi yung mga Tomasians, usually car park yung takbuhan kapag medyo tinatamad lang lumabas or maikli lang yung break time. Pero pag matagal naman yung break, we always try naman talaga to go out of the campus and find new places to eat, diba?
And I always have my umbrella with me because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Sobra po.
And minsan po maulan.
Yeah,
Very
true.
unexpected naman.
I will never forget my time in UST. That was Ondoy. I was stuck here. You will never be a Tomashan.
Yes.
If you haven't
If not.
experienced
So you
that.
experienced po yung flood.
Not only flood. Na-stranded
Bagyo
ako dito.
talaga. Saan kayo natulog?
Sa Tanyan.
Sa Tay.
Sa Tay.
Because I remember na nasa Varsity, if you are guys familiar with the so-called AMV3, I think almost umabot dun sa base, dun sa inuupuan yung flood nung Ondoy, ganun kataas. And talagang, syempre hindi naman natin in-expect yung na ganun kataas yung flood na mangyari during those times.
I think in Espanya, it was like sa shoulders ata yung height.
Opo.
If I'm not mistaken. It's really high.
Especially na ako yung engineering nandiyan sa may Espanya, so we are always the first victims of the flood.
Yeah. And it was too dangerous na naman po umuwi because of course nga madaming naging victims at that time. Yan.
So Miss Karen, naman, let's go before you become a student. Was physics your first choice?
No. I think, a lot of people doesn't know that physics was never my choice. I really used it as my stepping stone to UST. Well, I'm not afraid to share my story because I know that I have stories the same as mine.
Yes.
And I know there are students out there that have or that are in the same situation as mine. My first choice was fine arts.
Oh.
Supposedly,
Kasi I know that UST is really good for fine arts.
Yes po.
So, ang second choice ko noon was tourism. So, kung saan ako nilagay, it was very far. It was like the opposite direction. But then, when I entered the College of Science, it was really hard because it was physics. And then, I really wanted to travel the world. That's why I chose tourism. But then, sometimes, even though you love those things, there are things that sometimes you will be redirected in another path. And then I pursued my physics, and then I pursued my master's because my mom is a cancer patient. So I continued my medical physics so I can work in radiation oncology.
Oh, yes.
And then I used my profession to help people like her. So I was able to practice that. And then still, when I wanted my desire for what do you call this? For fine arts.
Yes.
And also for tourism. I still continued that after I graduated. I
so
took
parang
crash
hindi naman siya
courses.
nawala. Opo.
No, I still took it. And now I'm traveling the world as your Miss Earth.
Yes. I think yun yung guys, yung sometimes your route may not be the route that you want, but God wants you to go on a different path, but you still end up on the destination that you wanted to be in.
So, hindi lang yun. When I entered, I continued my physics. I never planned to be a beauty queen, so I never thought this was out of my plan, really.
So what was the story behind being a beauty queen?
Oh, what I wanted was that I wanted really to represent the scientific community in a different platform and to really share a message to all people, to inspire them, to motivate them. So that's what happened. I was still able to use my field of study as a scientist in Miss Earth.
Yeah.
So I was able to use me as a physicist and then to bring my advocacy in Miss Earth. It's a whole different world for me, but I was able to reach out to a wider range of audiences.
But actually po, yung background niyo po, parang perfect talaga siya sa Miss Earth kasi you have the knowledge and parang mas madami kang ma-share sa mga tao kasi you understand about the causes of Miss Earth.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm the very first scientist to join the whole history of Miss Earth.
Actually, nabasa ko nga. But speaking of beauty pageants, But speaking of beauty pageants, have you tried out yung Mr. and Miss UST? I think during those times it was still called as the search for the ideal Tomashan personality.
Yeah, it was called that way. I joined Miss Science, but I didn't win.
Oh,
I didn't win.
Where you started here in UST?
When I was in high school, I joined.
Yeah.
But alam mo yun, it was a part of a school thing.
Yes.
But I never thought I would join a national pageant. Never in my whole life.
Well, guys, we will continue our discussion with Miss Karen Ibasco of her journey as our Miss Earth and also more things about her when we return. But for now, enjoy the song from James Reid featuring Nadine Lustre entitled IL2LU, only on the station where you hear the roar, UST Tiger Radio.
Hi, I'm Timothy James Sanlangit of the UST men's volleyball team, 4th year setter. Para sa akin, dapat kami abangan yung season kasi we have new additions sa team namin. You can expect na they can be an asset sa team namin. And pangalawa, we gained more experience and panibagong learnings na nakuha namin sa training camp namin outside the country. Tapos pangatlo, since maraming gagraduate sa amin ngayong season, expect them to give their 110% sa bawat game na lalaroin nila kasi especially last season nila ngayon. Hi, I invite you all to watch the UAAP Season 80 Men's Volleyball Tournament starting this February 3, Saturday at the Mall of Asia Arena. Go, Ste!
Hi guys, I'm Sharon Rondina from the UST Golden Tigresses, 4th year, Open Heaton. Dapat kaming abangan kasi kahit may nawala sa amin, papakita namin kung ano yung mga ginawa namin para takpan yung mga nakulang, may mga kulang sa amin, and dapat rin kaming abangan kasi ilalaban namin kung ano yung mga natutunan namin and ano yung mga experience na nag-gain namin sa mga outleagues na nasalihan namin, and lastly, lalaban kami para sa UST. Alam po namin na hindi niyo po kami bibigayin para suportahan kami. And hindi din namin po kayo bibigayin para ilaban kung ano po yung dapat ilaban, lalong-lalo na sa UST. Go UST!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, the circus awaits you. As Meteortrix proudly present this year's minor production, Hexen Ring. We're now here at Albertus Magnus Auditorium to witness the exciting show. Tag along with me as I join in all the magic and music in this traveling circus.
So, hello everyone. So Meteortrix now is actually established September of 1996. So this year we are now celebrating our 21st anniversary since we are established as an organization here in University of Santo Tomas. So as you all know, Meteortrix is the university-wide multimedia organization of our school, of our university, and its mission is to really cater to the art enthusiasts and really to be an advocate of multimedia arts.
So Hexen Ring is the minor production of Meteortrix for its 21st anniversary. Basically, the story revolves around Joshua, a medical student who agrees with his girlfriend Orwell to go to the traveling circus. With the directors of Hexen Ring. Hello, Direct John and Direct Lian.
Hi!
So first off, what can you say about the turnout of the performances and the production as a whole?
After months of hard work, sobrang saya lang kasi yung reception ng audience sobrang warm. Sa Twitter, nagpo-post sila sa Facebook, and even after shows, may mga lumalapit na audience na nagko-congratulate sila na sobrang ganda daw ng show. And ayun, parang nakakataba lang ng puso na na-appreciate nila yung pinaghirapan ng bawat isang tao dito sa production.
Well, that's good to hear. Direct John, what more can people expect from Meteortrix?
Well, maraming upcoming projects sa Meteortrix, and after this minor production, we're going to start working on our major production. And I think it's something that all the Tomashan community should look forward to.
And that caps off Meteortrix Hexen Ring. see you next time here at Tiger Trail, your all-access pass to exclusive events inside and outside UST.
School of Engineering nurtured my natural curiosity and helped develop my analytical skills to approach problems with relative ease. I believe this proved to be instrumental in preparing me better for business and aided my aspirations to become an entrepreneur. I'm pleased to let you know that the Thomasian core values of competence, compassion, and commitment are very much alive in the Jollibee Group today. It feels good to be back here in UST.
A walk through the UST campus feels like a walk through time. Discovering and exploring UST would mean tracing the trails and entering its portals through the Arch of the Centuries, one of the Philippines' national cultural treasures in UST. Considered as one of the UST's prominent landmarks, the structure was the original entrance to the university in the Intramuros campus. After UST's relocation to its present site, the historic facade was put together with its original structure, facing the main building while its replica faces the Hispania Boulevard. Considering its significance and symbolism, freshmen pass through the arch towards the main building for the traditional rite of passage, which marks the beginning of their lives as Thomasians, while graduating students exit through it for the send-off rites that signify the end of their journey as students. Standing at the heart of the campus is the majestic main building constructed from 1923 to 1927, a masterpiece by engineer friar Father Roque Ruanio, OP. This famous landmark is the first modern-day earthquake-resistant structure in the country. From 1927 up to the present, the main building has been the home to various faculties and colleges and administrative offices. It was converted into an internment camp for the prisoners of war during the height of the Second World War. A cross atop the main building symbolizes UST's Catholic identity. Different statues of great men designed by Italian sculptor Francesco Monti ornate its pedestal to signify the university's spiritual and intellectual aspirations. In the center is Tria Ek, a representation of the Christian values of faith, hope, and charity. To the left of the main building is the UST Central Seminary, the seat of faith inside the university. This is where the Santissimo Rosario Parish Church, the Father's Residence, and the ecclesiastical faculties are located. The structure was designed by Thomasian engineer-architect Fernando Ocampo and was completed in 1934.
Bakit mo mahal ang UST? Bakit mo mahal? Sabihin mo.
Bakit mo mahal ang pamantasan na ito?
Ano man ang dahilan, sabihin mo.
Lakson o dapitan, saan ka man, Espanya at Pinoval, ang Tomasino'y bahagi niya.
Di mapipigilan ang paglaganap ng pusong Tomasino. Bakit mo mahal? Sabihin mo. Sa 45 taon na tayo'y magkasama, ang UST at ikaw ay di naiba. Dito tayo umibig, dito tayo umiyak at sama-samang nagsaya. Ba't mo mahal ang UST? Simple lang dahil mahal ka niya. Sa 45 taon na tayo'y magkasama, ang UST at ikaw ay di naiba. Dito tayo umibig, dito tayo umiyak, sama-samang nagsaya. Ba't mo mahal ang UST? Simple lang dahil mahal ka niya. Ba't mo mahal ang UST? Simple lang dahil mahal ka niya. UST, mahal mo rin ba?
I love you.
Within a stone's throw from the USD Chapel is the USD Grandstand and Open Field. It has become a venue for significant university events, including the historic visits of Pope Paul VI and Blessed John Paul II.
UST.
Tiger. Okay. UST Tiger Radio, the only station where you hear the roar. Good afternoon, guys. You're still tuned in here at TR Cuento Masino with me, Nico.
And me, Chris.
And of course, we have with us Miss Earth 2017, Miss Karen Ibasco.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Okay, so right now we will talk about the journey of Miss Karen on both Miss Philippines Earth and Miss Earth. So, Miss Karen, nabanggit niyo po kanina that what made you venture into beauty pageants is you want to represent the scientific community. So, what was your first step on joining the pageants?
My first step in joining the pageant, when I decided to join Miss Philippines Earth, I researched. So it's like a thesis for me. I researched, and before even entering the competition, I already knew what my edge was.
Yeah, of course.
Kasi di ba usual, the people na who would join Miss Earth, gagamitin yung term like reuse, recycle, which is correct. That's fine. But then, you have to think of something that would boost your platform and they would know your profession, but still in a layman's term that people would understand.
I think that's important para mas relate, di ba? Saka, but are you part of the, kasi di ba like in beauty pageants, we know that there are camps.
Oh yeah. I am a part of it.
Oh, what?
I'm from KF. Yeah, kasama nila MJ Lastimosa.
Ayan. So, speaking...
Yeah, Rachel and Elizabeth Clancy, we were training before we entered our international pageant. Sabay-sabay kami nag-training.
So, what is your take naman po on those... Kasi syempre may narito tayo na parang may rivalry between the camps. Is it true po ba? Especially now na medyo... Yung lahat kayo ay mga nasa may international titles.
I guess it's just that people are making a big issue of it. Kasi no matter what you do, the camps are training people to represent the Philippines. So people are trying to make those ingay just to ruin things for you. But then at the end of it, you're doing it for the Philippines. So they're trying to bring out your best potential, you know, to go on that international stage and do the best that you can.
Well, pero di ba po sa camps nyo, like, may other foreigners din na nag-train? So, ganun talaga kalupit sa Philippines.
Meron.
Well, I think kasi nga nakikita nila that Philippines is really a good, we have good training camps siguro.
Yes, and it's not about, of course, yung training camp. Of course, yung mga representatives, like kayo po, you have a good background, and then, of course, alam nyo kung ano yung pinaglalaban nyo and why you joined. So, ayun, that's why all of the representatives of the Philippines are always on top.
And diba, usually it was like Latin American countries, and then a lot from Latin American countries are bashing Asians in general because nag-moves yung powerhouse sa Asia.
Because dati, diba,
nasa kanila.
Colombia, Venezuela.
Actually, most of you winners are from Asia, diba po?
The alpha queens are 3 out of 4 are from Asia.
Yung Korea first time nila man.
Supra, yeah.
So most of ngayon parang yung dating binabash nila, like ngayon lumipat na and tayo na yung power. So empowerment talaga for us Asians also.
Yes. So Miss Karen naman, what is your most memorable experience during the pageant?
My most memorable?
Yes.
I guess my most memorable would be my crowning moment. I mean, winning after representing the Philippines. What is it, national pageant or the international?
Either po.
It was really about having the right mindset in the competition. But when you were called, when me and Colombia was left there, and one of the most memorable memories for me in the competition is that I felt the whole arena, the whole Philippines cheering for you. And you would feel the unity of the Filipinos that came together just to cheer you on. And I really felt it when I answered. Every time I come out on stage, pag sinabi nilang Philippines, you would really see the enthusiasm and the excitement in all Filipinos.
And then you're gonna nail it.
Really? Thank you.
Actually po, nanonood po ako nung pageant nyo, and yun, sobrang na ako. Parang at that moment when you answered the question and answer, I knew that you were gonna win.
Talaga? Siyempre, yun yung tingin ng tao. Pero siyempre, iba yung sa akin kasi ako yung sasagot ng tanong. Pero talaga, you really have to fight your nervousness when you're there. Because people are looking at you, they're waiting for every single word you're gonna utter. And it's either you're gonna break it or you're gonna make it. That's it. So
Yes.
just relax lang. Kasi I'm on stage, I'm the one who's gonna speak. You pray first, and then relax lang kayo. Ako sasagot. Ganun. Huwag ka kabahan. Kasi pag kinabahan ka, kahit alam mo yung sasagutin mo, mawawala siya sa mind mo. And never memorize.
Yun nga po yung speculation ng like mga
Kasi sobrang ayos, no?
Sobrang ganda ng sagot.
No, even in Miss Philippines Earth, ano siya, it was an issue, sabi niya, cooking show talaga yung show na Miss Earth. Kasi sobrang ganda daw ng sagot ko. Sabi niya, pero per pageant, nationals and international, last year na-change yung category. So, it was 2 question and answer before you win a crown. So, the first is like a hashtag. You like get one word and then you expound it. And then, I did well the first. And then, the question for Miss Philippines Earth was also hard. Actually, it was harder for me, Miss Philippines. And then, nasagot ko siya, sabi nila, luto daw. Kasi, saan ko daw nakuha yung sagot? Tapos yung iba, they don't even know what carbon tax is. They only know carbon paper lang daw. So, sabi ko, okay. Sabi ko, I did my research with documentaries. And so, I was able to get my answer. And then, so dalawa na, I would understand if you would tell me that it was luto because I memorized one answer lang. But no, I did 2 for national and I did 2 for international. So you can say that it was
and
it
tsaka,
was memorized.
Yung, I think the hashtag, di ba, is a fishbowl. So whatever goes out talaga.
We had no idea what the words were. Ang alam lang namin, current issues. Alam lang namin current issues.
Saka there were other contestants who also like nag-buffer pa sila before answering. So, hindi talaga siya cooking show. Kasi may mga nahirapan talaga.
We really don't know the words.
Because of your efforts and your preparation, nagbunga naman.
Oo naman.
Pero Miss Karen, napansin ko kasi din sa answers niyo nung Miss Earth, yung dulo niya, parang ginawa niya siyang tagline.
Yeah.
So, parang paano niyo nabuo yung ganong
tagline?
Yes, tagline.
You wouldn't believe me if I tell you. Kasi alam ko, when I won for Miss Philippines Earth, I was only given like 2 months to prepare, 2.5 months. And then the first month, I was even working for Miss Philippines Earth. So, wala akong time mag-training. It was so hard. I was so pressured on every side because they were gonna change my walk. And then I had to always be fit. And I had to prepare for my Q&A. So, even though I was busy driving, na nasa traffic ako, I was throwing questions in my mind. Kaya ako na-formulate yun. Doon ko siya nakuha. Or even before pa ako nag-Miss Philippines Earth, nagbe-brainstorm na ako. So, minamaximize ko lahat ng time ko just for me to get to that goal.
Somehow may maganda na ibubunga yun.
Yung traffic. It's true, marami. Diba? Actually, it depends on you how you're going to take it. So, how you're going to maximize your time. Are you gonna sleep? Or you're just gonna whine? Kasi it's traffic. Wala ka naman nagawa.
So, better make your time, like, maximize
it. Yeah. Use it wisely.
So, ano naman, Miss Karen, what was your main driving force na makuha yung Miss Earth crown na lang?
My main driving force is really never lose your enthusiasm. I guess it was more about knowing my purpose and my mission and going what I'm called for. It wasn't because I always say that it wasn't my dream to become a beauty queen. So a lot of people, they will always say it's my dream and I want to get the crown for myself and then what? So I guess for me, it was more than that. And then when I got the crown, it was a symbolism of how I can represent other people as well. That this crown is not just because it's your dream, because you want to do more. It's the purpose of doing it. That's why you're here.
Ayan. So, okay guys, at this point, we will have another short song break, and when we return, we will still have Miss Karen Ibasco with us. But for now, here is a song from Itchy Worms entitled Akin Ka Na Lang, only on the station where you hear the roar, UST Tiger Radio.
The earth is a splendid place to live in. But every second, every minute, and every day, our world is changing. Somehow marking an impact in our everyday lives. Our home is facing a threat that may affect its very existence. A threat made by its own settlers, us. A threat that could bring to us serious and long-lasting consequences. With climate change, there will be severe and prolonged droughts. More intense rainfalls and tropical cyclones. Sea levels will rise due to melting of snow and ice. Faster spread of insect-borne diseases. And a warmer world. Some say that climate change is a hoax, but climate change is a reality. For years, the country has been experiencing dry spells because of El Niño. With this phenomenon, the country will have limited water supply, affecting the production of agricultural commodities, a great source of food for people. In 2013, we experienced the deadliest typhoon that ever hit the country. Haiyan. Millions affected. Thousands of lives lost. Hundreds of damaged properties. But one indomitable nation on the road to recovery. But as climate change worsens, people will continue to feel the wrath of nature. We must be responsive and alert during calamity. Answering the call to action, the Tamasian community conducts emergency preparedness measures. So what should we do to put an end to climate change? We must challenge the change and act to prevent further damage to our planet. Guided by the hallmarks of being a Tamasian, we should be competent, compassionate, and committed caretakers of the environment. Join the Tiger Pack because every help counts. Today, the university is taking action to save the ailing planet. Let's start a green revolution. Recycle more materials. Minimize styrofoam usage. Save gallons of water. Grow hectares of trees. Simple efforts to spark an environmental movement. Challenge the change. Tamasians Act on Climate Change.
Meet Tom and Dom. They're college students at UST. They're tasked by their professor to work together on a project due next week. You see, Dom is staying at a dorm in Manila. But she went home to her province for the holidays. Tom, on the other hand, lives on the south. So what will they do? How can they work on a project even if they're miles away? How can they group together when school's out? Enjoy a leveled-up e-learning experience with the e-learning access program. There's so much more to do now that UST partnered with Google Apps for Education, an online solution for teacher and students which gives them access to core Google Apps and tools for an innovative approach on learning inside eLeap. Awesome, isn't it? Tom and Dom has Google for Education accounts given by the University of Santo Tomas Educational Technology Center. It gives them access on different Google apps. To start on a project that their teacher gave over the weekend, group leader Tom created a Google Docs file which he shared to Dom and his group mates so they can simultaneously work even if they're on vacation. With one single file, everyone can see real-time updates of each other's progress. But they can't always collaborate in real time, right? Through the comments and replies section, they can still leave feedback for them to check out when they open the file again. And if they want to simultaneously virtually see each other, they can do a Google Hangout. To make sure they're doing their task right, they share the file to their teacher. Upon viewing the file, the professor was able to suggest edits and was able to raise inquiries about the project. After revisions were laid out, Tom and Dom can easily click the Resolved button to notify their professor that they already made changes on the project. Come school week, Tom and Dom are all set to submit their project. There's no need for a flash drive for submission. Through Google Docs, they went paperless and submitted the file through link sharing. Group leader Tom submitted the Google-generated assignment link to the assignment section of eLeap, and the teacher was able to check their assignment pronto. And now their score was posted in the My Grade section of eLeap. Fast and convenient, right? With Google for Education apps, collaboration is seamless with your team, even if you're miles away.
UST Tiger Radio, the only station where you hear the roar. Good afternoon, everyone. You are still here on hashtag TR Quentomasino with me, Nico.
And me, Chris.
And of course, we also have with us Miss Earth 2017, Miss Karen Ibasco.
Hi, guys.
Ayan. So, Miss Karen, let's move on naman with your during the coronation. Ano yung first thing na pumasok sa isip nyo nung tinawag yung Philippines as the Miss Earth?
I was very overwhelmed. I couldn't hold my tears. I was really crying. And then, when I was left with Miss Colombia, she was the closest in my competition.
Ay, narinig ko nga po with your interview.
She was the closest kasi in the competition, you would meet different people. And you would also meet people that just simply wants to win a crown and has a different motive of the heart. So I met a lot of delegates from different world na ganon. But then, when I met Miss Colombia, she was my closest because she was a real person in and out the camera. So, sabi namin, there was a time that she said, I want both of us to be left on stage. And then it did happen. It did happen. And when I was called as a Miss Earth, she even hugged me twice.
Nakita ko nga po.
Yeah, hindi siya yung hug na, sige, ikaw na yung panalo. Hindi.
Kasi mahigpit na yakap talaga.
She was really happy for me. And I was parang I was just really happy. Puro puti na kasi ang liwanag ng stage.
Pag sa stage, minsan.
I was really happy. Tapos nalimutan ko nga na may crown. Basta parang
Na-blank
na-blackout
ko
ka.
bigla.
Oh. Sabi ko, wow, Philippines na. Tapos I really heard the roar of the whole
arena.
Especially when James Deacon, nung sinabi niya na maski wala pang Philippines, when he said that, get ready for this arena to blow up, something like that.
Ganun.
When he said it, alam ko na ako na yun. Kaya nung sinabi niya Philippines, and then I heard the whole arena, I was so happy. As in, hindi ko siya fully ma-explain. I was really happy.
But I think, di ba, and syempre yung happiness na after all the preparations, the hard work, di ba?
Yeah, and of course, lalo na dito po kayo mismo renowned sa Philippines.
Yeah.
So, sobrang talaga. And of course, expected, madaming crowd talaga.
Oo naman.
And
Pero,
knowing the Filipinos.
the crowd,
Sobrang
and super fan kasi siya for pageants eh. Pero it wasn't hard. It wasn't easy to win in my own country. A lot of people would say na, kapag nanalo sa sariling bansa, it's actually biased. A lot of people don't know what happened behind the scenes. But I got sick. Lahat na. Kasi it was really a test of stamina because it was a month-long competition. So I think Miss Earth is the longest international competition, which is really hard. So you really have to stay strong. And then you don't need to put double. You need to put triple efforts just to prove to everyone that you're at par with all the delegates. Na it was not daya. No. Even the organizations were telling the other people na, wag kayong anuhin si Philippines ha. Walang bias ha, lahat yan equal. So walang for me. Talagang pumipila ako ng line, nag-wait ako for makeup, for hair. I was waiting and I was giving the same effort as everybody was.
Yeah. And of course, kung sino naman po yung, if we are gonna look back at yung sa performance niyo po sa pageant itself, even the pre-pageant activities, sobrang galing po ng performance niyo. Kaya sobrang deserving po talaga. We know na deserve nyo manalo and it wasn't a cooking show, guys.
Talaga. Tsaka mahirap, especially na ang laki nga ng pressure because you're not happy. It's not your own name. It's the name of the country. So if you fail, it will look like the Philippines failed, di ba? Parang gano'n.
And yun, di ba po yung nangyari last year?
Yes.
Is it okay to talk about that?
Wag na natin pag-usapan.
Sige.
But I think, yes, people know naman that.
Pero ayun, syempre, we have to make Philippines on top.
Yeah, tsaka parang you also have to prove yourself on stage na pag nanalo siya, siya talaga yung deserving. Kasi okay yung walk niya, okay yung sagot niya, yung gano'n. Hindi siya dahil Philippines ka, nandun ka sa top. Hindi. We worked hard on that. And during the month-long competition, the pre-pageants, you really need to nail every event.
Everything.
For you to be on top. Pero ibang usapan yung coronation night. Kasi marami kami na equal na kami during the pre-pageant. Ang pinakakalaban ko talaga, ang nakita ko si Thailand siya si USA. Wala nang iba. Silang dalawa lang ang nakita ko, super kalaban ko. The rest, si Colombia was always with me. So parang ano lang siya sa akin, sa tabi ko, I know she's gonna be there. And then, after nun, it depends on who's gonna shine the brightest in the coronation. Tsaka lahat,
and you shine the brightest.
Yeah, thank you. And saka pagpasok mo in top 16, back to zero kayo. So wala nang bearing yung pre-pageant mo. So dun ka na you're gonna do your best in the coronation night.
Pero I think it's common naman talaga in pageants. Like if even you're just watching the pageant, makita mo talaga na this candidate, iba talaga yung dating niya. I think nakita ko yun with you, Miss Karen, and with Pia Words back when I watched Miss Universe. As in, parang kita mo na may something sa kanya. Like,
elements niya.
May parang hindi mo ma-explain na gut feeling na ay, eto siya. I think not just, kahit sa ibang pageants, like this year, si South Africa. Actually, marami sila. I think that it was a really tough fight nun sa Miss Universe. Yung sobrang gagaling nila. And even, I think so, in Miss Earth.
Yeah. Totoo naman. So, talagang you would see na siya yun eh. Ganun siya. Na if you, really God wants you to be there, no matter what people say, you will be there and will be given to you.
So, ano naman, Miss Karen, during the coronation, what was may mga ginagawa bang rituals or anything para hindi yung kaba on stage?
Ang ginagawa ko, even a day before, I don't open my social media anymore. I don't read. Like 2 days before the competition, I don't read. I don't open my social media. I just leave it there. And I only allow people to talk to me yung sobrang close lang sa akin. Yung if they're gonna say something about this and that, but the rest wala. And then, I was already brainstorming. Kasi hindi ka, when you're an athlete and you go on court, hindi ka naman basta lang magko-compete. You warm up. And that's what I did. I warm up for my Q&A. Kasi, di ba, you have to think, aabot ako doon. Kaya ako nag-warm up. Aabot ako sa Q&A. So, I was throwing myself different topics na, and I was answering as if I was on stage. Ganon.
So, practice makes perfect.
Perfect.
And before the competition, I was just in one corner. They know me. Sabi ko, I was actually asking for forgiveness dun sa mga delegates ko. Sabi ko, pasensya na if I wasn't talking that much because I really need to prepare. I need to set my mind and my body. So I was just in one corner. Tapos, I was praying, I was listening to praise and worship, and then I was preparing for my Q&A. Sabi ko, what are the possible words? What are the possible questions they may ask me? Because when you're on stage, there are people na nabublock out talaga. Kasi sobrang kaba niya. Tapos when they hold the mic, laging, ako na.
Tsaka nakita mo yun, pag hawak na yung mic, nanginginig talaga.
The excitement.
Yung crowd,
The
yun.
crowd.
And sometimes when you talk, there are people who gonna shout with you. Kaya sometimes nawawala yung thought mo. Just continue lang.
Actually, I think mas mahirap kasi sa Q&A, pag pumalpa ka, ang hirap mag-recover. Unlike kung nadulas ka sa pagrampa, tayo ka and then konting okay na. Pag Q&A, parang tapos wala ka ng time para mag-isipan ng recovery.
Tsaka alam mo, if mapapansin nyo, this year, yung mga pageants, halos lahat ng nanalo marunong magsalita. Kasi importante siya. It's a prerequisite. You know, you need a full package. You don't just need this and that. Hindi naman pwedeng puro talino lang din.
Yes.
Kailangan balance ka. Kasi yung hinahanap ng competition. No matter what organization you're working for, it's really about finding the full package.
So, okay. So, at this point, drift away muna tayo sa pageant and let us know more about Miss Karen Ibasco. So, yun nga, kanina po, nabanggit nyo na you love na to maghanap ng ibang food spots around UST when you were a student. So, what is your favorite food or what was your favorite eating spot aside sa mga foods na nabanggit nyo na kanina?
Hindi kasi ako mahilig kumain eh.
Hindi
ako masyado mahilig kumain. Pero I can still remember yung shake sa Pinoval.
Nandyan pa po.
Yeah. I always remember that. Sometimes my friends from the College of Science, we would drop by sa Pinoval if we have time. Kasi sometimes your sked or rather your what do you call this? Your break time is long. So we go there and then we buy. So chill lang kami. Sometimes
and especially po kasi yung weather dito sa UST
mainit.
So amoy araw ka na. Totoo naman
yun talaga yun.
You need to always have your umbrella with you.
Yes.
So kailangan you have your cologne with you to make you look still fresh. And then you're gonna go to your class. Make sure that. Tsaka it's harder kapag yung class mo after lunch. It's really sleepy.
I agree.
It's really like, I'm trying, when I was teaching, I'm trying to look at my students if they're still listening at me. If they're still listening to me, because a lot of them are sleeping or a lot of them are just staring at me. I don't know if they understood what I taught, especially kapag after lunch. So it's really hard.
Like the daydream na talaga.
Wala na, pagod na yan eh.
So ano naman po yung mga hobbies or mga favorite things na ginagawa during your pastimes?
I draw. I love drawing since I've said earlier I wanted to enter before fine arts. I still draw until now. And I still invest in different, I still invest on that. And at the same time, I studied parang a fashion design after I took my master's. I studied in not here though. I didn't study here, but I took my crash course in SOFA. And then I still continue it. I love what I do. And then now, I still pursue tourism. I'm traveling as Miss Earth.
Parang what you wanted before didn't...
It's still there.
Parang hindi binigay sa'yo, but now, because gusto nyo talaga siya, pinush through talaga.
Parang it's like more on, because there's something bigger for you. I'm not saying it's not big for me, but there's something that I want you to pursue. Parang God is telling you, this is not the path for you, but I will not take this away from you, since it's also your desire. But I will give you something more
better
than actually even expect or imagine.
So guys, huwag kayo mawalan ng pag-asa.
My story is very unique. Kasi talagang, I was a normal student in UST. I was, and I never thought and dreamed to be a beauty queen and dreamed of winning an international competition for your country. So it's really amazing for me.
Yeah, now you're here and everyone's proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so now we will go again on our short break, but when we return, it will be our final stretch. For now, enjoy this song by Cardi B entitled Bodak Yellow, only on the station where you hear the roar, UST Tiger Radio.
Hi, I'm Timothy James Sanlangit of the UST Men's Volleyball Team, 4th year setter. Para sa akin, dapat kami abangan yung season kasi we have new additions sa team namin. You can expect na they can be an asset sa team namin. And pangalawa, we gained more experience and panibagong learnings na nakuha namin sa training camp namin outside the country. Tapos pangatlo, since maraming gagraduate sa amin ngayong season, expect them to give their 110% sa bawat game na lalaroin nila kasi especially last season nila ngayon. Hi, I invite you all to watch the UAAP Season 80 Men's Volleyball Tournament starting this February 3, Saturday at the Mall of Asia Arena. Go, Ste!
Hi guys, I'm Sharon Rondina from the USC Golden Tigresses, 4th year, open hitter.
UST Tiger Radio, the only station where you hear the roar. Hey guys, you're still with me, Chris.
And also with me, Nico. And we have with us Miss Earth 2017, Karen Ibasco.
Yes. Ayan, so before we go on our final segment, here is my, I think, my last question for Miss Karen. What is, since nabanggit niyo naman po kanina that you just, parang hindi niya talaga gusto yung...
I never planned it.
Yes,
yeah.
you never planned to become a beauty queen. What is your message or advice sa mga Tamasians or sa mga members ng youth na medyo nagtatry mag-venture into other things pero medyo takot sila kasi sobrang hindi sila familiar dun sa papasukin nila.
I guess my message for them is that don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. Because if you go out of your comfort zone, you just make it that area bigger and try things as young as you are because you can never go back being young again. But know your limitation and your boundaries. At the same time, don't just do it because it's your dream, but know your purpose, your mission, and you go what you're called for. Because dream changes. You know, if you pursue things because you know your purpose, and it would actually be a better thing for you, and never lose your enthusiasm ever.
Ayan.
AJ. Q&A
yes.
Okay. So right now we're gonna head on to Fast Talk, guys. So we're gonna ask Miss Karen Ibasco questions. Mabilis lang to, guys. In a span of 30 seconds.
Questions and then
ano lang siya, may mga choices or like parang Boy Abunda
yes,
Fast
Boy
Talk.
Abunda
Walang choices si Boy Abunda.
Meron. Sometimes meron. Yung, okay, let's not mention that. Okay, so let's start. One word that would describe you.
Memorable.
Movies or flowers?
Flowers.
Favorite ulam?
Sinigang.
Liza.
Okay. Ito naman. Favorite artist?
Fiona Pascual.
Tamasha
as well.
Okay, so favorite color?
Pink.
Yung ano sa evening gown niyo po.
Pink.
Okay, so a person that inspires you.
It will be Shamsi Supsu.
Oh, me, I asked why po.
Because she is one of the person that actually wanted to pursue pageantry. Because when I saw her, she was not the usual type of beauty queen. She is a professional, and she had an advocacy, and her answer in her Binibini was about education, and I was supporting education, and she's also a Christian.
Yun, so head on to the next question. Favorite numbers sa electric fan?
Electric fan?
Yeah.
Electric fan?
1, 2, or 3?
1, 2, or 3.
3.
Kasi mainit.
Electric fan? Okay.
How about your favorite book?
Tuesdays with Maury.
Oh, I love that.
Really good.
Pero sige.
Maganda yan.
Okay, so that's it for... Do we have more questions?
Yeah, I think we still have. What would you rather live forever or stop time?
Stop time.
One thing that annoys you.
Arrogant people.
Something you're afraid of.
The dark.
To sleep or to eat.
Eat.
And then, eto na po, final question na talaga. Describe briefly the following hashtag. Hashtag Uste.
Hashtag Uste. I'm very grateful to study in the University of Santo Tomas. And I'm proud to be a product of UST, to be a Tomashan. You'll always have with me the 3 C's, even though it's quite cliche for a Tomashan to say it. You'll always have it with me because those are the things that help me survive in this world right now.
And so once again, Miss Karen, thank you very much for visiting UST Tiger Radio.
You're welcome.
I hope you had fun.
I did.
Do you have anything to promote or any message to all our listeners?
Anything to promote? I guess it's more on continue with me as I venture more on my journey as your Miss Earth 2017. And do follow us on our Miss Philippines Miss Earth Instagram and also on our Twitter. And you can also follow me on my Instagram account. It's Karen Ibasco.
And so once again, thank you, Miss Karen. And guys, this has been Cuento Masino with me, Chris.
And also with me, Nico. Thank you so much, Miss Karen. It was such an honor na maging DJ at this time for you. Actually po, nag-sub lang kami today.
Yes.
Really?
Yes
po.
Thank you for having me as well.
Yes, thank you again. Okay, guys, so here is the song from Bruno Mars and that'll Just the Way You Are, only here on the station where you hear the roar, UST Tiger Radio.
Hi guys, I'm Sharon Rondina from the USC Golden Tigresses, 4th year, open heater. Dapat kaming abangan kasi kahit may nawala sa amin, papakita namin kung ano yung mga ginawa namin para takpan yung mga nakulang, may mga kulang sa amin, and dapat rin kaming abangan kasi ilalaban namin kung ano yung mga natutunan namin, and ano yung mga experience na nag-gain namin sa mga outleagues na nasalihan namin, and lastly, lalaban kami para sa UST. Alam po namin na hindi niyo po kami bibigayin para suportahan kami. And hindi din namin po kayo bibigayin para ilaban kung ano po yung dapat ilaban, lalong-lalo na sa UST. Go UST!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, the circus awaits you. As Meteortrix proudly present this year's minor production, Hexen Ring. We're now here at Albertus Magnus Auditorium to witness the exciting show. Tag along with me as I join in all the magic and music in this traveling circus.
So, hello everyone. So Meteortrix now is actually established September of 1996. So this year we are now celebrating our 21st anniversary since we are established as an organization here in University of Santo Tomas. So as you all know, Meteortrix is a university-wide multimedia organization of our school, of our university. And its mission is to really cater to the art enthusiasts and really to be an advocate of multimedia art.
So Hexen Ring is the minor production of Meteortrix for its 21st anniversary. Basically, the story revolves around Joshua, a medical student who agrees with his girlfriend Arwen to go to the traveling circus.